Yesterday, we were talking about Cristiano Ronaldo potentially leaving Juve to go to Manchester City. 24 hours later, it's confirmed he is returning to Manchester United. Jan, how surprised are you with this news?
Well, I'm surprised how quick this has gone. You have had fees or you have speculation gone on forever. And but I guess yesterday when the Manchester United people realised, maybe that's what Jorge Mendes tricked at, to try to sell him to Manchester City, so Manchester United should wake up. But you will have Sir Alex Ferguson calling his son. He would like to have him back. And Manchester United got one of the most exciting players in the world coming to them. So it's unbelievable. Manchester United got a fantastic transfer window with Varane, Sancho and Cristiano Ronaldo. And before Craig says it, yes, it put Ole Gunnar Solskjaer under pressure. He needs to win something now.
I think what he's saying, Craig...
Actually, Jan, I wasn't going to say that today. I was going to stay away. I was trying my best to stay away from it, and he's put me in it. But I can imagine... it's a bit like, I think, Berbatov and Van Persie, but going to Man City and sort of hijacked by Sir Alex. I don't know if this happened, but you kind of get the feeling his former manager phoned him and said, "You can't be doing that, son, going to City." And so it's no real surprise, particularly when you watch Man United last week with Martial up front. Clearly they need goals. Yes, they have Cavani for that, possibly. But still, at his age, he's producing, and I think 30-odd goals last year, again, for Juventus over all the domestic and European competitions. And so, yeah, I mean, a short-term fix for sure, but potentially a fix.
It looks as though Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can attract top players. Looks as though he had some help as well.
Listen. Yeah, I don't think...
He had some help here. This is Rio Ferdinand saying, "I rang him straight away. What's going on? Tell me you're lying." This is about the rumours of him going to City. I'm like all the fans. I'm exactly the same. Agent Bruno, welcome back home, Cristiano. So apparently behind the scenes, these guys were playing a part in this deal happening. So Mark Ogden, tell us what the details are of the deal and what was going on behind the scenes.
Well, yeah, I was told that Ronaldo was getting text messages, phone calls from his former United teammates in the early hours of the morning, 1 a.m. UK time. He was still being, badgered by his ex-teammates to not go to City and to realise that he would tarnish his legacy with United and their fans if he did that. Now, ultimately Ronaldo's all about Ronaldo. I think we all know that. And I think that there's two things that matter to him. It's winning trophies, personal trophies, and adulation. But I think he places adulation and being loved ahead of actually winning trophies. He just wants to be loved, and I think he knows that if he goes to United, he'll be absolutely adored by the United fans. If he'd gone to City, that would have gone. It'd have been almost a hate figure, really, and the City fans, I don't think they'd have loved him. They'd just used him as a bit of a rod to kind of beat the United fans with. So I think he's gone there because he knows that he'll be loved, but he also knows that he'll get paid a lot of money. I think if he wanted trophies, he would have gone to City. I think City offer him the chance to win things more quickly. But as the guy's saying that, United couldn't really allow Ronaldo to go to City without a fight. And, I'm told that United entered the deal quite late last night and made it clear to Ronaldo and Mendes that they would get it done. They were happy to pay a fee to Juventus, which City weren't. But also, this deal has been kind of floating around since late last season or early summer, when it was clear that Ronaldo wanted to leave Juventus and his people were kind of testing the water around Europe. And United were approached in June, May time as to whether they'd be interested. At the time they weren't, but things changed, and I think they realised that for the money involved, a fee that could rise to maybe 24 million euros, the wages, we don't know what they are yet, but they won't be small. They'll make him the highest paid player at the club. Ultimately, this deal could actually end up making money for Man United rather than costing them money, because it'll help in terms of boosting sponsorship deals. They'll get more money commercially. So from United's point of view, I think it's a win-win. He wins off the pitch, but he wins on it as well. So it's a great deal. And also, let's be honest, the Glazers win as well, because they've got the fans on side now. Because end of last season, it looked like that they couldn't do anything to get them back on side, but now they've brought Ronaldo back. So almost all is forgiven for the Glazers.
So what's the actual idea from both sides, do you think, Shaka, in bringing Cristiano Ronaldo back? What are the objectives?
Well, I think it strengthens United quite clearly. It brings world-class talent, and it brings a personality to a dressing room that we've said time and time again lacks leaders. No, they have that player who gives them that direction, who maybe brings that winning mentality, that steel to them. You
Are they
understand
title
that.
challengers?
Sorry?
Are they now title challengers?
Yes, listen, we're talking about Manchester United. Manchester United are supposed to be title challengers. So whenever we're discussing titles, Manchester United have to be in the discussion, though they've disappointed over recent seasons. But they are part of that conversation. For Ronaldo, and I disagree slightly with Mark, when I say I don't think he had an issue with going to City, or City and their fans would have an issue welcoming him there, especially if it meant goals and it meant trophies. And for the City, the noisy neighbours, it would mean bringing a player as loved as Ronaldo, taking him away from Manchester United. Now, all of a sudden, they are the big fish in town, and United, in their eyes, are more the noisy neighbours. But to United's credit, as a club and with their fan base, I don't think they could have allowed that move to go through. I think given their legacy, given their relationship with Cristiano Ronaldo, given that history between two of them and the noisy neighbours, as I just mentioned, credit to them for stepping in. Credit to the entire Manchester United fraternity, for family, for stepping in and hijacking this move in the way that it did. The most surprising thing for me is how quickly it happened. We've said time and time again that signing players like Ronaldo and Messi are so layered, that it takes so much to get them on board with all their commercial deals. Yet still, when Messi decided to leave Barcelona, PSG got that deal done in roughly 48, 72 hours. And once Cristiano Ronaldo decided he's leaving Juventus, all of a sudden United step in and within 24 hours that day is done. So it speaks to the value and the running of those clubs, certainly in getting the deals that they want done, getting them done quickly.
How much better does he make this United side, Frank?
Well, a lot better. He's an example in the dressing room. He's still a competitor. He's still very fit. He still want to win silverware. So it's definitely a plus to Manchester United and put them as one of the contender, which they weren't for me before his signing. So it's definitely a plus. I'm very pleased because yesterday, I thought it would be some kind of an issue for somebody that I thought was faithful to his past. And I love fairy tales, and I'm happy to see him, going back to a club who made him becoming a legend. So it's fine, it's nice, and it's a nice story for me.
It's interesting that a lot of his former teammates were reportedly texting him to go to United, most of them working in the media, so much for no bias there. But I think it's been a super exciting transfer window for Man United now. What's the objectives of them going there? Winning the league. The goals are going to obviously help them. Interestingly enough, the player that left Manchester United is not the player coming back, not just because of age, but he's transformed his game. He was a flying winger when he went to Real Madrid, and now he's a striker who has got some young players around about him with Greenwood and Sancho and others. You've got the guile of Pogba and the guile of Fernandes. Maybe they are lacking another dynamic midfielder in there, but they could cope with that with the players, potentially with the players they've got. But yeah, I think this is I can understand him. I can understand wanting to go to City in some respect because of their success and potential success. They are further down the line than United, but it is wholly understandable that one, this United team are in a better position than they were a year or two ago to challenge, and two, he was loved by United fans. So it's kind of understandable that he's quickly chosen to go back to his old club.
Okay, if I may say that we're talking about on the field, I think he will produce, he will get his goals, but I think that's also what Manchester United a couple of 3 last years have been lacking is excitement. Craig was talking a bit about this create excitement. Manchester United for me, since I was a kid, was all about great players. Going back to Bobby Charlton, George Best, and when Ferguson came in, it was all about the class of '92 and so on, and Beckham and Giggs and so on. But the last couple of years, Manchester United, okay, second place, but now you get a player in that the whole world knows. He got like billion, trillion followers on every social media there is. This makes United global again, in my opinion. And Mark said it, maybe they will earn money on this deal, but still it will make them excitement, because sometimes the last couple of years when you came to Old Trafford, even if they had good games, they didn't kind of excite me when I watched the game and I watched their playing. So I think this is also perfect. Yes, the Sancho can come in and do the exciting things, taking people on, but Cristiano Ronaldo is the ultimate one, which I think is very important for Manchester United.
The excitement and the global appeal is definitely one thing you can't deny. But for you, Craig, does it make them title challengers having Ronaldo in the team?
Yes, and I felt they would be in a title fight of somewhat anyway. Whether I didn't think they would go all the way to the end, could have been wrong, but I do think this, stating the obvious, I think it hugely improves them. But if you had said to anybody, pundits or supporters, before or during the summer, you're going to get Rafael Varane, one of the most esteemed defenders of the generation, Jadon Sancho, one of the most talented up-and-coming youngsters, and Ronaldo was coming back, they'd have snapped your hands off. So yeah, it does put them clearly in a better position to challenge.
How's it going to work, though, do you think, Mark, in terms of his playing time this season? We've seen him, as he's got older, taking a bit more rest. How often will we expect to see him playing?
I think he'll play all the Premier League games that he's fit for and all the Champions League games that he's fit for. I think he might not play in the Carabao Cup ties, but, you know, Ronaldo and Messi, they just don't miss games, do they? They carry on and they play, and I think Ronaldo would be a great example to his teammates. I think, you know, when he was at United last time, I was told by teammates at the time that Wayne Rooney sacrificed a lot of his game to make sure that Ronaldo could hit the heights that he did. You know, Rooney would do a lot of his running, he'd do a lot of the hard work. Now, obviously, Ronaldo isn't going to put a lot of the work in again, but he got, like Craig said, such a young group of players around him. Sancho, Rashford, Greenwood, even Dan James at times, Martial. They will do all the running for Ronaldo to make sure that he is at absolute best and he doesn't have to overexert himself, shall we say, to kind of drain his resources. So I think that Ronaldo plays in all the games that United need, the big games, the Premier League, the Champions League games, and they'll be hoping the more the merrier, because the more games he plays, the more chance they've got of winning something. And that, let's be honest, Ronaldo feels like a trophy right now for United because they haven't won anything for 4 years. So signing Ronaldo is their biggest win for 4 years. They want that, go better than that, and actually win a trophy. And I think this is the year they have to do it. All questions on Solskjaer still have to be answered. Ronaldo makes it a lot easier to answer those questions, but he has to win a trophy, and Ronaldo makes it much, much more likely that they're going to do that.
Picking up off what Mark said there, is there any downside to it? It seems like a silly question, but is there any downside to Ronaldo returning to United?
No, I don't see it, because generally he's kept himself fit. He's a couple of little niggling things in the last few months, but he's no spring chicken anymore. Look at the stats are still great. He's not going to run about chasing everybody, but that's not his job anymore. He plays more between the penalty area now, right? He thrives on balls into the box. He's others that will do the work rate for him. It's a short-term contract. There is commercial viability to it off the field. There's football viability on the field, even at this age, no doubt about it. So this is a win-win. It's one of the reasons City want to sign him, because they know getting goals is a commodity, and that's what he should bring. Unless his stats drop off dramatically, he's going to be 20 to 30 goals again, and that's going to put Manchester United in a pretty good position. The
only downside for me has got nothing to do with Ronaldo. As we sit right now, if I'm Edinson Cavani, I'm wondering what does this signing mean for me?
My number.
Exactly. Not just that, but
it means you better get a big coat.
Exactly. You know, but again, that has got absolutely nothing to do with Cristiano Ronaldo. And to Mark's point about Rooney doing the running, given one of the best players of our generation in Wayne Rooney doing the running for Ronaldo, it's a far cry from some of the other players that Manchester United have right now. Very talented, yes, and in Rashford, Greenwood, Daniel James, as he mentioned. I'm not sure Martial is the player you rely on to do any of your running. But that's two different level of player, and you're asking two different asks of them. Can they support Ronaldo in the way that he needs now, in a way that Wayne Rooney can? I'm not so sure.
You know, the other thing he brings is, and I don't know what the boys think, he ups the ante for me in professionalism. Mm-hmm. And I think that could be one of the keys, is that most players are winners. But when you look at his desire, and at that age, you've got to take that into account. You don't play with his numbers for that amount of years unless you have and keep yourself in that shape, unless you've got the desire. When they look around the dressing room, these players, and they see him, and there's some very good players at Man United, they look at a guy that's going to demand week in, week out that they are reproducing the performances from the last week and the week before. And one of United's problems has been recently is that they haven't had that consistency. They've had some good performances, then it slipped off. He brings a different dynamic to the professionalism and to the word winner. And some of the other big-time players in this United dressing room are going to have to step up now, I think, because he sets the benchmark.
And when you look at it as well, Mark, do you wonder if you're seeing that Cristiano Ronaldo has returned to Manchester United, does this help them going forward in the transfer window in attracting big names like Erling Haaland maybe next summer?
Well, I was just going to make the point that people have asked today, does this mean that they're not in the running for Haaland next year? Well, no, it doesn't. I think it actually helps United get Haaland in the sense that it raises United's profile, as Jan said. They become an A-list club again. They've got Ronaldo. They become that super Hollywood club that they've always been, and they've not been for 4 or 5 years. So that they're now a much more high-profile club. And I think, as we know, that Erling Haaland idolises Ronaldo. I was told by his dad Alfie a couple of years ago that he actually changed his diet, Erling, to eat fish because he heard Ronaldo eats fish. So he idolises Ronaldo. So if he has the prospects of having a season with Ronaldo at United, then that only strengthens United's hand. So Man United now are back in the big league in terms of signing players. So it makes them a more attractive proposition. And obviously there's going to be a lot of competition next summer for Erling Haaland, we know that. But having Ronaldo there, perhaps with a trophy as well, makes United's case a lot stronger. So yes, I think it does make them more capable to sign the best players, because having Ronaldo won't cost United a lot of money. As I said, they'll make money out of it. So United are back in the big league. They just have to be back in the big league in terms of trophies now.
Jan, you are the Haaland whisperer. What does it do for United, and why are you laughing there?
I'm just laughing because there are so many things now into the speculation, because Alfie Haaland, that Mark talked about, he played for Manchester City and Leeds. It's going to be very popular to then send his son to Manchester United. That's point number one. There's going to be a lot of speculation around that. I'm a bit sweaty because I run from Signal Iduna Park, where I saw Erling Haaland get that 3-2 goal, and they win against Hoffenheim today. And of course, there were a lot of speculations here now as well, because what would this mean for Erling Haaland, and will Manchester City save that place for him now, where they didn't get Kane, they didn't get Cristiano Ronaldo? So there are so many speculations, but I think that what we will see into next summer, it's going to be an unbelievable competition in and around him. And when we are talking about things are going fast, I think that also we should know that these big players in our football game, they talk to each other all the time. They will have different options. They will have different roads to go, and they know what's going to go there, and they're talking about ideas and all that kind of thing. So it's going to be unbelievable year coming into the big decider next season. And remember, although we are talking about that clause, Dortmund, they hope they can keep him for many years. There was a big thing today about PSG, if Mbappé going, that they will get Haaland and a fantasy offer now at the end. So Sebastian Kehl, the head of sport, he came to me pitchside today and said, "Do you want to make the interview in French today?" and so on. So Dortmund are they know all about the speculation, and we know that will just increase into next summer.